Charlotte Hale stepped off the train into the dusty town of Nevada with hope in her heart. As a mail-order bride, she dreamed of a new life and love, but her excitement quickly faded when she felt the stares of the townsfolk. Her facial scars, remnants of an unfortunate accident, marked her as an outsider in this close-knit community. While some whispered unkind words behind her back, others openly ridiculed her appearance, leaving Charlotte feeling more alone than ever. Despite the whispers, Charlotte held onto her courage. She knew the kind of love she desired was built on more than looks. She sought understanding and kindness. Each day brought new challenges as she navigated the harsh judgments of those around her. However, amidst the scorn and rejection from her intended groom, Charlotte's story was just beginning to unfold. Little did she know that a quiet gunslinger named Silas Cain was watching her closely, intrigued by the strength he sensed beneath her scars. As Charlotte walked through the bustling streets of Nevada, she couldn't help but feel the weight of countless eyes upon her. The townsfolk's whispers slithered into her ears, filled with judgment and scorn. "Look at that one," they would say, gesturing to her scars, as if they defined who she was. Even her intended groom, a man she thought would see beyond her appearance, turned away with a look of disappointment, leaving her heartbroken and alone. Children pointed and snickered, while some adults exchanged cruel laughter. It felt as if the very air around her had thickened with disdain. Charlotte's spirit wavered under the constant barrage of negativity. Each day was a reminder that in this town, beauty ruled over acceptance and kindness. Yet, she clung to her hope for a new beginning. Deep down, she still longed for a place where love was not clouded by flaws. Little did she know that her true strength would soon attract someone who saw beyond the surface. Among the townsfolk of Nevada, Silas Cain stood apart. With his quiet demeanor and rugged appearance, he often faded into the background, allowing others to dominate conversations. A gunslinger with a troubled past, he had seen his share of darkness and loss, which made him sensitive to the pain of others. As he observed Charlotte's struggles from a distance, something in her resilience caught his attention. Silas admired how she carried herself despite the ridicule she faced. He noticed the strength in her eyes, a spark that shone through her scars. While others saw only blemishes, Silas recognized each scar as a testament to her survival and courage. Unlike the townsfolk who judged based on looks, he found himself inexplicably drawn to her spirit. In a world that often valued appearance over character, Silas felt an undeniable urge to approach her. Little did he know that their paths were destined to intertwine, leading to an unexpected journey of connection and understanding. One late afternoon, as the sun dipped low in the sky, casting long shadows across the town, Silas finally gathered the courage to approach Charlotte. He had been watching her from a distance, and now he could see the sadness hidden behind her brave facade. As she sat alone on a bench, staring at the ground, Silas felt an overwhelming desire to offer her solace. "Mind if I sit?" he asked softly, his voice steady but gentle. Charlotte looked up, surprise mingling with curiosity in her eyes. She nodded hesitantly, unsure of what to expect. Silas took a seat beside her, noticing how she tensed at first, but then began to relax slightly. "I've seen how they treat you," he said quietly. "It's not right." His words hung in the air, filled with sincerity. For the first time, Charlotte felt someone acknowledged her pain without judgment. In that moment, a unique bond began to form, a connection rooted in compassion and understanding that would change both their lives forever. As days turned into weeks, Silas and Charlotte began to spend more time together, finding comfort in each other's company. They would meet at the same bench, sharing stories and laughter that gradually broke down their walls. Silas listened intently as Charlotte spoke about her dreams and fears, appreciating her warmth and strength. For her part, she began to see a gentler side of Silas, a man with depth shaped by his own struggles. Despite the unkindness from the townsfolk, their growing relationship became a source of strength. They faced gossip and judgment together. Silas stood by Charlotte whenever harsh words were thrown her way, showing her that she was not alone. Their connection deepened beyond physical appearances as they learned to trust one another. In those moments of shared vulnerability, Charlotte felt seen for who she truly was, a brave woman with a kind heart. Together, they began to redefine what love could be in a world that often overlooked it. As Silas and Charlotte's bond strengthened, Silas became increasingly aware of the hostility surrounding her. He could no longer tolerate the cruel laughter of the townsfolk or their biting remarks. When he witnessed a group of men mocking Charlotte one evening as they walked past her, a fire ignited within him. Silas stood tall, a silent guardian ready to defend her against their cruelty. "Enough," he said, his voice firm and unwavering. The men paused, surprised by the sudden presence of the gunslinger who was usually so reserved. Silas confronted them with an intensity that silenced their laughter. He made it clear that Charlotte deserved respect, not ridicule, a message that echoed through the startled crowd. His willingness to stand up in her defense inspired Charlotte and reinforced her courage. Silas's protectiveness revealed his deepening affection, showcasing not just a desire for love, but a commitment to fight against social norms that dictated judgment based on appearance. Together, they began to challenge those very norms, united in their quest for dignity and acceptance. Despite their growing love, Silas and Charlotte faced ongoing hostility from the townsfolk. One evening, as they strolled hand in hand, a group of men shouted cruel insults, mocking Charlotte for her scars. Silas tightened his grip on her hand, his jaw set with determination. He turned to face the taunts directly, asserting that true beauty lay within and demanding respect for Charlotte. On another occasion, while visiting the local marketplace, they overheard whispers about their relationships, expressing disbelief that a man like Silas would choose to be with someone so damaged. The hurtful comments stung Charlotte deeply, making her question if she truly deserved Silas's love. Yet through these challenges, Silas remained steadfast by her side. Their love was tested time and again as they confronted harsh judgments and unkindness. Each instance fortified their bond, teaching them both that love could flourish even amidst adversity, allowing them to emerge stronger together in a world overshadowed by prejudice. As time passed, Charlotte began to feel a shift within herself, fueled by Silas's unwavering belief in her worth. During quiet moments together, she found herself smiling more freely and laughing at little things that once seemed insignificant. Silas encouraged her to step outside her comfort zone, and one day he suggested they attend a local dance. Nervous but eager to please him, Charlotte agreed. At the dance, apprehension washed over her as she remembered the townspeople's cruel words. Yet Silas held her hand firmly, reassuring her with a gentle smile. When they stepped onto the dance floor, Charlotte felt the warmth of his support wrap around her like a protective shield. With each spin, she started to let go of her insecurities. As she danced, Charlotte realized that she was more than just her scars. She was vibrant and full of life. In that moment of joy and acceptance, she began to embrace her true self, finding confidence blooming within her heart, thanks to Silas's love and encouragement. As Silas and Charlotte's love grew stronger, Silas found himself haunted by unresolved memories from his past. One evening, while tending to his horse alone, flashes of a violent confrontation that had led to loss replayed in his mind, burdening him with guilt and self-doubt. He recalled the faces of those he could not save, and it filled him with a deep sense of despair. In that moment of vulnerability, he realized that if he wanted to build a future with Charlotte, he had to confront these demons head-on. Seeking clarity, he decided to open up about his past with her. Over a quiet dinner, Silas shared his story of heartbreak and the choices that haunted him. Instead of recoiling, Charlotte listened intently, understanding the weight of his struggles. This exchange deepened their connection. It was a turning point for Silas as he chose love over fear. The mutual sharing of their vulnerabilities not only brought them closer, but also highlighted their resolve to fight for a brighter future together amidst the shadows of their pasts. The climax of their story arrived when a local event turned into a battleground for prejudice. As the town gathered for a festival, Charlotte and Silas decided to attend together, hoping for a moment of joy amidst the ongoing hostility. However, the atmosphere quickly shifted when a group of townsfolk began to taunt Charlotte, openly ridiculing her scars in front of the crowd. Silas felt a surge of anger as he watched the hurt in Charlotte's eyes. In that moment, he stepped forward, his voice steady and fierce. "She is more than her scars," he declared, facing the crowd with unwavering resolve. The townsfolk hesitated at his boldness, their laughter silenced by his conviction. Charlotte felt empowered by Silas's words. She joined him, standing tall beside him. Together, they confronted the crowd, demanding respect and dignity. Their united front sparked a shift in some hearts that day, proving that love and acceptance could prevail even in a society steeped in judgment. It was a defining moment that bound them together in their fight for equality and acceptance. In the aftermath of the festival, Charlotte and Silas found themselves transformed by their shared experience. As whispers of admiration from some townsfolk began to emerge, they realized that their stand had sparked a shift in perceptions, however small. Together, they walked through the town with their heads held higher, embodying a new sense of resilience and hope. Silas encouraged Charlotte to share her story more openly, and she began visiting local gatherings where she spoke about her journey and the strength she had discovered within herself. In turn, Silas started mentoring young men who sought his guidance, using his tough past to teach lessons about compassion and acceptance. Their relationship blossomed in this newfound environment. They celebrated their love openly, reveling in the joy that came from being true to themselves. The couple became symbols of change within their community, illustrating that love could indeed conquer adversity in a world fixated on appearances. They emerged stronger together, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. In the end, the journey of Charlotte Hale and Silas Cain serves as a powerful reminder of resilience, love, and redemption. Their experiences highlight the strength it takes to rise above prejudice and societal judgments based on appearances. As they confronted harsh realities together, they learned that true beauty lies within, transcending physical scars and societal expectations. Their story encourages others to look beyond surface-level judgments and embrace the uniqueness that each individual brings to the world. Through their unwavering support for one another, Charlotte and Silas not only transformed their own lives, but also inspired change in their community. They became symbols of hope, illustrating that love can flourish even amid adversity, and that acceptance begins with understanding. As they stand strong together, they remind us all that real connections are built on compassion, empathy, and a deep appreciation for the human spirit. Ultimately, it is this love that triumphs over stigma and paves the way for a more inclusive future.